Hey there, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes video. I'm Zuko.
And I'm Exum.
And this is
The High Ground.
Alright guys, so today we got an interesting video. We got a bunch of different topics we want to cover with you. You actually see them now on the screen as we go through them. This is stuff that we've been talking about. We see that's going on right now in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and where we see it going in the next couple months. You always got to be looking to the future, and a lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about is exactly that, looking towards the future on what we think is definitely coming.
Yeah. So we just kind of wanted to speculate on things. The first thing we wanted to touch on was that April Fool's joke yesterday by CG Carbonite Han. That was well played.
That was hysterical.
That was well played.
I cried laughing.
That was good stuff right there. You know, I was down for Carbonite Han. You know, I thought the kit needed a little bit of work, but you know.
The kit was splendid. Impossible to defeat him. That's fantastic.
That was good stuff. The next thing we want to talk about is, on the background, you'll see some of my Darth Revan gameplay. So we wanted to get you guys an unlock video, but things came up. My computer died. I had to take it in. I lost footage. Things like that happened.
So responsible.
So, but Darth Revan's been doing good. Actually, the moment I got Darth Revan ready to climb an arena, I was at 223 rank in arena, and I was able to climb all the way over the course of 2 days because I wasn't going to be refreshing too much. I was able to climb to like 14 or 13, and now I stay between 14 and like 47. But I'm not in the shard, like the arena shard, so they like to attack me. So I have like a 5 p.m. Clock every single day to go in and climb for 2 hours and make sure that I get in there. The next thing we wanted to talk about was Jedi Knight Revan. You wanted to touch on the fact that he'll be coming around again in May, the beginning of May, but you were...
Yeah, so Jedi Knight Revan comes around again, guys, in May. This will be obviously the third time that he comes around, and we want to issue kind of like a fair warning to everybody. I'm pretty sure you guys are avid gamers. You guys play this game a lot. You probably understand it already. But here, just to let you guys know, I would be very cautious when gearing up Jedi Knight Revan right now, especially because he takes a lot of characters to make him work, like Jolie and stuff like that, which I still have not even farmed him because I feel, again, that the Jedi Knight Revan meta is, it's past, and it's just going to continue to die over the next few months, which what we have coming up next in the next couple topics will explain to you why we think that. So you know what? I understand that he's still a great character. He can beat Darth Revan, but just tread with caution. Okay,
yeah, he's going to be good for Grand Arena and Territory War.
Don't go all in on him in the sense of you don't need everybody to be Gear 12. You don't need everybody to have the Zetas. I still don't have the third Zeta on Revan, which is the hero one. Again, I don't have one on Jolie because I don't have it geared. So just use what you've got. If you've got a few Jedi right now from the Old Republic that are already geared up and that can help make a dent at least, that's what you should run with. That's what I do. I run my arena differently than everybody else. I have Ezra instead of Jolie because I had Ezra geared forever. He's a great character. So that's just kind of like our fair warning to you guys, especially because, as you guys saw, Darth Revan came out. What happened with Darth Revan? The fact that he wasn't godly.
They're going to what we expected.
Yes.
If you watch our last video, we predicted a lot of things correct. Whether it be Darth Traya lead being around, whether it be Palpatine lead being around. This meta we thought was going to go towards a rock, paper, scissors, and that's what it's looking like it's going to be going towards.
Especially,
and so if you expect Jedi Knight Revan to come and change your game, he's not going to do that.
Anymore.
So that's what we're kind of trying to get across to you guys.
Especially, you guys got to, and not only that, but look, we're already in April. It's April 2nd today. You guys got to understand that B2 Super Battle Droid is now the login character for this month. There's a reason. Every single login character has been done for a reason. We don't know if maybe there's a rework coming for the reworked Grievous, which has been talked about with Carrie before, CG Carrie, and she says that they're always looking at adjustments that need to be made. So you never know. She said that specifically about Grievous because people were coming at her about, hey, is there any way that we can redo this? So they're always looking for ways to improve. All I know is that there's no way in heck that they're going to allow for the Clone Wars animated series to start coming up and there be nothing for them, first of all, to make money off of, and second of all, for them to introduce into the game. You guys remember this, I'm going to put it up actually on the screen now, which is, you remember the post back at The Road Ahead that came out from CG, and they talked about the fact that they're really looking forward to it. And this is a specific line that needs to be taken into account, guys, because we're going to talk about something later on that you guys understand why we're saying it. The specific line says they're looking forward to exploring other avenues of the Clone Wars animated series. The Clone Wars animated series in particular. That's what they said. I don't think they would have said it for no reason. Yes, it's because the series is coming out.
As opposed to the series.
So some characters that we really want to be coming out maybe won't be. There's a lot of amazing stuff that can come out of the Clone Wars era, like the series. So that's actually what we're going to get into next. That's why, guys, just tread with caution when it comes to Jedi Knight Revan. He's dead at this. Well, he's not dead because he's still very good, but he's just a dying meta.
Yeah.
And even some of you Darth Revan owners, to be totally honest with you, I would tread with caution with Darth Revan as well, just because you don't want to be gearing. Look, you can run an incredible.
Caution with Darth Revan is don't be holding out hope that Malik is coming soon. That is the only thing. What we have Darth Revan right now is a great character, especially for offense if you want to climb. And on defense, you know, it depends on your shard. If you have fellow Darth Revans, your defense is going to be shaky. If you have a lot of Jedi Knight Revans, you might be able to hold better because he's built to defeat Jedi Knight Revan. So it really depends on your shard. But if you're holding out hope that Malik is coming soon, I really think that teaser was just to say, listen, we know there's KOTOR fatigue, but Malik is going to come in the future. Like, he's not coming right now. We're going to leave you with this tease, but he's going to be released at a later point.
100%. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. They understand. They have finally gotten the fact that KOTOR is dying, which is also why I think that Darth Revan, as of right now, isn't what everybody expects him to be.
She's exactly what I expected him to be.
So, yeah, we talked about it. We talked about his kid being kind of a downfall for him.
Once I knew that it was Sith Empire, I knew what he was going to be.
Yeah, so all we're saying is that, guys, you know, start predicting the future and let's move on from KOTOR because, dear Lord, it's enough. But what I say, with the reason I say the tread with caution with Darth Revan is there's certain characters that might synergize with him, but if you don't have them geared, don't gear them.
Yeah, like
don't gear
Sith
right
Marauder,
now Sith Assassin, Sith Marauder, don't gear them. Because there's a lot of other characters that work fantastic. He's running T3 on his.
T3 BB-8 with
BB-8. There's a bunch of different lineups that you can run without having to dive into the fact that, okay, I have Scion gear 12 with the Zeta, but I have Sith Trooper sitting at 5 stars gear 2. Don't go after Sith Trooper. You're fine with Scion.
Yeah.
So that's what we say when we say tread with caution.
So we really want to talk about the Clone Wars animated series and like these reworks and these marquee characters and these legendary characters that we think will be coming into the game. This B2 login really has us pumped for this.
Yes.
So we wanted to mention how we think that when these Jedi that should be in the game or should be stronger in the game either get a rework or get introduced into the game, we think these Jedi are going to be coming in with a new tag.
Yes.
So there's 2 tags we think it's going to be like. We think it's either going to be a High Council tag, which is specific to only 12 Jedi in the High Council who...
It does include Anakin, if you do remember. Maybe he won't be a master.
And that is the other rank. The other rank is the rank of master. That could be a tag. So we really think that this is coming our way because it's going to be a way to neutralize the Jedi Knight Revan effect, much in the same way that they introduced the Sith Empire tag to Darth Revan, so that it neutralized his effectiveness with fellow Sith, especially the Sith Triumvirate. They're going to probably introduce a new tag, whether it be the High Council tag or the Master tag, to these new Jedi to neutralize this Jedi Knight Revan.
I 100% agree with that. There's a lot of characters right now, guys, in the game that are Jedi, that they're all galactic. They're all under Galactic Republic. Sorry about that. They're all under Galactic Republic tag, and I really think that they're going to... I mean, that's the biggest faction, I believe, right now, besides Rebels. So I really do think that they're going to try to diversify that. They're going to try to make them a little bit smaller. I think they'll have a kind of general synergy, but where you have the effect of Jedi Knight Revan, like he's stating, where they have specific synergies that just make them extremely overpowered, I think that will be stuck to the fact if they're on the High Council or if they're a master. So I think it's exciting to think about. We're going to, like, there's a bunch of characters that we have right now. Of course, Mace Windu. You have Plo Koon, Kid Fisto, and Eeth Koth that can all get reworks.
Yeah.
Why do we specifically mention those 4? Well, because they're all High Council members. They're all High Council members, and they're all trash.
And they're all masters. So
and they're all masters.
It could fit either way, whether it's going to be the High Council or the Master tag.
I don't believe that you have these extraordinarily powerful Jedi, and we can continue to let them, suffer when we should be moving towards, based on what, CG Carey said, towards a meta or towards a more Clone Wars series dominant era, at least. So I think that it's very important to look at these characters and understand that Mace Windu needs another rework because he's been reworked a few times. He's still garbage, like all these other characters do. And it's important to start farming them. I took Eeth Koth to 7 stars a couple months ago because when I heard about Grievous, I really thought that that's where we were going. Kid Fisto I'm working on. Plo Koon we're almost done with. Actually, we've been farming him for a while too. And Mace Windu I've had there forever. But those are important characters, guys, in Star Wars, especially Mace and Plo, that they have to get some type of rework. And they all have to do with the Clone Wars animated series. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Adi Mundi. Adi Mundi is another character we see being introduced into the game. This is an extremely powerful Jedi, extremely wise Jedi, who actually, based on Star Wars lore, was one of the only Jedi who knew about Order 66 right before he was killed. Just based on his ability with, what was it, like
I think he could feel the emotions.
He could feel the emotions of the clones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are guys that really should be introduced into the game, and he will get introduced into the game 100%.
And the other one being Shaak Ti.
And Shaak Ti, yes.
And so, like, these are the characters we believe will either get reworked or introduced as new marquee characters. Because though they're big characters, we know they're not going to get a journey event or a legendary event.
And they're going to get reworked.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we expect out of them. And then we did want to touch on what are the 3 legendary characters that we could see coming from this Clone Wars era content. And the first one that comes to mind is obviously Padme Amidala.
Yes.
So we think this is the most likely to happen. And we were really talking about it before we started recording this video. What do you think that we would need to unlock her?
Well, first, I'm going to come out and say this. Remember what I said earlier. They talked about the Clone Wars animated series is what they're going to pursue. So I'm sorry, we're not going to get Padme in that white cut off the crop top most likely, because that's
Probably
from episode
not.
2.
Yeah.
So we're probably going to get her in the outfit that she wears in the Clone Wars animated series, which is, it's all right.
It's okay.
Whatever. But so let's talk about Padme. What could be needed for Padme? Well, we just got a rework of General Grievous and a whole bunch of new Separatist droids. Doesn't it make sense that they be used for something?
Yeah.
So we do think that we see her as a legendary type of character,
Legendary, yes.
solely because her importance to another character we will talk about later on in this list. So she's a pretty demanded character too. People really want her as well. So I do think that they'll probably introduce her as a legendary character. So here's the thing that we were discussing. Well, here if they want to introduce, let's say, the HighGround Kenobi.
Well, I want to keep on Padme real quick.
But both of them. Because what would be used for each one?
Because we say the Separatist droids could be used for either one.
Yes.
Which brings me to my point that we think Separatists will definitely be needed for Padme. We don't know if it's specific to the droids. Because what if for Padme it's a more generic Separatist and you can pick 5? Or for Kenobi, you could pick 5 Separatists. Or if they wanted to get even more specific for Padme, maybe the 4 Geonosians and new gun range.
Let's think about this. The way that we got to think about this is who is constantly going after Padme. There's 3 people that come to mind. Well, 3 factions that come to mind that are always like trying to capture her. Okay, of course you have the Separatists. You have the Separatist droids. But the other one that really comes to mind, and they were introduced into the game, and I don't think CG is just going to let them be introduced and not use them. Why not talk about the new bounty hunters that we got?
Oh, the second generation.
The second generation of bounty hunters.
That could be
something that is used for Padme. I can see where they then use Separatists because Grievous and
Kenobi,
they go together.
Hand in hand.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
So, those are some possibilities, guys. You should start thinking of.
That gets me thinking. I gotta start working on Embo then.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's a hard form right there.
So I'm almost done with Jango Fett right there. But that's why I'm saying that there's a couple. There's 3 possibilities I see it going. Separatists are a big one, so just make sure that all your Separatists are 7 stars.
Cover yourself. Get them start up. Don't
there's
start
9
carrying
of them,
but get them up.
There's 9 Separatists, I believe. Yeah, there's 9 of them.
No, there's more because we have 5 droids. We have 4 Geonosians. There's 9 right there. We still have Gunray. We still have Asajj, and we still have Dooku.
We have. Okay, let me see.
It's close to 15.
Let me see right here. No.
It's 6 and 6. It's 12.
6. Okay, so we have 12. All right, so we have 12 Separatists. Guys, just take the time, farm them all up. Droideka and B1 just got introduced to the Chromium packs.
So be on the lookout for
when they come
free
to play farmable, attack the heck out of it, guys.
Yeah.
It's going to be used for something. They wouldn't do this type of event. They wouldn't introduce these iconic characters for no reason. You never know. Maybe those droids could be used for... We were talking about it. We're always talking about the fact that CG's looking for ways to make money, right? So why not introduce another variation of Kenobi or another variation of Anakin? A younger Anakin. Maybe episode 2 Anakin. Maybe you have Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You never know. These are different things that could possibly happen.
I think those are less likely,
yes.
But you never know exactly for the same reasons. Maybe those are introduced as marquee, and we need to farm up those characters to get their different version, legendary version. So that's another thing. Okay, so the next character we talked about was HighGround Kenobi, so we think Padme, HighGround Kenobi. And then the third character, obviously, that always comes to mind when you think about Clone Wars era. You kind of think of Darkside Anakin. But the thing is, like we mentioned earlier, we think it's going to be very Clone Wars animated series specific. So we don't really see Darkside Anakin being the thing. But really, you never know.
Well, I don't. Okay, so I don't see him not being the thing. What we're discussing here is that it's going to take time to build to him. Yeah. Because there's so many characters that are needed to get to him.
Yeah.
We need HighGround Kenobi. You need Padme. You need these iconic, figures that transformed his. That also brings to the fact that maybe there's a Darth Sidious rework coming out. So there's a lot of stuff that kind of shifts to force him into becoming Darkside Anakin. Now, I do think that there still is a possibility, because obviously we remember the episode of the Clone Wars where he first, learns that he is going to be...
Yeah, the Mortis arc.
The Mortis arc,
the 3-episode arc when they're on the planet Mortis.
So it is a possibility. And that is, at the end of the day, that for a lot of individuals, including us, is the golden...
nugget.
The golden nugget of the Clone Wars series era, or the Clone Wars era, is Darkside Anakin. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's the HighGround Kenobi, but it's a very close second is Darkside Anakin. So that's a huge possibility.
Yeah, drink some water before you choke on yourself. Well, I wanted to talk. So Darkside Anakin, I think we definitely know he's gonna be a journey character. Yeah, he's not gonna be a legendary. And so I wanted to bring up how earlier I was talking to you about what if we needed the Tuskens. And we really wanted to shut that down for everybody. We don't think you're going to need the Tuskens. CG just introduced a new precedence in this Darth Revan event that they're going to give you these characters that you don't need to have farmed up for that event that you'll be able to use to do an event. So they gave us Darth Revan or T3 or Jolie, all these characters that weren't specific to that event, but we needed to use them to tell the story. We think that when Darkside Anakin does come, they're going to give us characters to tell the story.
Yes.
And they'll probably give us Anakin, a younger Anakin, to defeat a little bit of Tuskens there, and that'll be like a tier in the battle.
Yeah, you never know.
So we won't really need the Tuskens farmed up. If you want to play it safe, farm up the Tuskens, but that's something we wanted to bring up, because for Darkside Anakin, it's really gonna be special. It's gonna be like the same way I look at Jedi Knight Luke. You're gonna need legendary characters to unlock this journey character. So we're gonna need a legendary Padme. We're gonna need a legendary Kenobi. Whether you want to consider a raid Kenobi a legendary, you could. And so you're gonna need these legendary characters to eventually unlock this journey.
The same way that we've been talking about the fact, that with Jedi Knight Luke, look at all the new characters that we've gotten. Chewie, you get all these new legendary people that are gonna be used for him as well, just like C-3PO. But one thing that you guys gotta remember is that what has George Lucas stated 6 million times? What is the Star Wars about? Star Wars is about Anakin. Star Wars is not about Luke. Luke is a byproduct of Anakin. Anakin is the center of this. So whatever they do, it's gotta be huge. We already have Jedi Knight Anakin, which wasn't really a huge thing at the time. So they gotta do, and neither was Vader really. So they have to do some type of splash for, this is in my opinion, it's their last chance. Because you're not going to go back to teenage Anakin and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to make it an incredible thing. Nobody really gives a crap about that whining, sand-hating
They'll
person.
probably rework Jedi Knight Anakin and Ahsoka, especially when they're going to focus on this Clone Wars.
Oh, God, Ahsoka.
On this Clone Wars series stuff. They're definitely going to make those characters better. So, again, those are going to be much more important characters than some of the Jedi we mentioned earlier, just because they have ships. Yes. So you can double up there. So those are characters that definitely to keep an eye on. We geared them specifically in the past, expecting that rework to come sooner, and it never came. So we're set on that end, but we definitely wanted to bring that up before we wrap up this video. Final thing we wanted to touch on is, you guys know we love the clones.
Yes, we do.
He's a huge clone guy.
Huge clone fan.
We're working on a collab with somebody that we won't mention because you never know if it falls through or not.
Exactly.
But what you guys definitely need to know is hashtag rework the clones for General Krell. Yes. We think General Krell should happen in this game. He doesn't have to
such a cool character.
He doesn't need to be the biggest, baddest character in the game, but just introduce him into the game. That is a topic for another video.
Yes.
So we want to just leave
Stay
you on
tuned.
that. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. And last character, Cyborg Maul. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
You underestimate my power!
Don't try it! High ground! You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them! High ground! I loved you! High ground! High ground? It's not the high ground way. I mean the Jedi way. You know what I'm saying. I'm saying I've beaten you, and I'm on the high ground, so... High ground!